I got this request from one of our subscribers. His name is Antoine Zufal. Thank you so much for the recommendation. He wants to see Silent Night reharmonized and put into a sheet music arrangement. And in this video, we're going to go through that arrangement, take a look at some of the more interesting areas of reharmonization so that you can apply them not just to this tune, but to other tunes as well. I'm going to post a link to the sheet music that we're talking about in this tutorial. I'll put it up in the right-hand corner of your screen up there eventually, so stick around for that. And the first thing we're going to do is take a look at the recording that I did on the grand piano. We're going to listen to it and then we'll analyze it a bit. Here we go. It's actually slow swing 3/4 time. Nice sharp 11 chord. We'll get there, talk about that. And then that nice bass line. So the first thing to keep in mind with this tune is it is a waltz. And it's a jazz waltz, which means you have to swing the eighth notes. So even that left hand where you've got that eighth note leading to the next bar kind of gives it that rocky feel. Rocky meaning rocking back and forth, not like rock music. And of course, I'm talking about this note that keeps that bass line going. Let's hear it. And one, and one, and one. That's very important. That's the whole feel of the tune. So let's start with the DS sign, which is basically the second line on the page. Now, I threw in this G flat or F sharp as a passing note, but also part of a line cliche. That James Bond feel. I think it makes a really nice sound with the melody. Just a really simple thing to do, but it sounds great. And then we're going to go down to the next line. Now, this is a situation where the bass note is rising in half steps. It just makes a great movement. So the bass is either going up in half steps or down in half steps. That's a great way to approach reharmonization. Up a half step, up another half step. And of course, right there, we have a 2-5-1 of E flat major. So this is 2, 5 to 1. Now, the E7 sharp 11 is a passing chord. Now, notice I'm not playing the entire voicing. So typically E7 sharp 11, something like that. But I'm just using these notes here. Notice with just those three notes, it says it's an E major with a flat 5. Basically sharp 11. To E flat. Here we go with the bass line again, up a half step. Often when you go up in half steps like that, moving to the next chord, it's sometimes, not always, a diminished chord. They make great passing chords. Passing chord. And 3 chords going down to 1 now. The first one is a passing chord or a tritone substitution leading to the F minor 9 chord. F minor 9, and then the same chord as before. And we're in to the next line. And we've got a bit of a repeat here. I just moved the rhythms around a little bit to make it more interesting than the first time. And then a passing chord here. So this is basically an F sharp augmented over B flat, which looks like a B flat augmented according to Chordy, but it's just kind of like a passing chord. And then way up here. Now, I tried to find a billion substitutions for this chord. I think because of the nature of the tune and the fact that everyone knows it, it's a good idea to use chords that actually fit the original. And that chord is probably one of the most important chords there is in this tune. There's our half step passing chord, diminished. And then we've got line cliche leading to the C7 sharp 11 chord. Let's play that line again. Just makes a really nice progression. And then the last thing we're going to do in the head of this tune is to use a descending bass line in half steps. So a lot of times the tune will just go like this. That's kind of boring, right? 1 to 5 to 1. In this case, we're going to go down in half steps. And even in this little section right here where I've got rhythm happening, so dotted quarter note to eighth note, but in the left hand you're playing quarter notes. So that means there's kind of like a syncopation going on there, which is a lot of fun. One more time. Back to the rocking motion. And then we're into the solo. Now there's a whole chorus of solo that I've written out. I'm going to save that for another video. But if you have any questions about the reharm to this point, please put it in the comments below. And if you've done your own reharmonization of Silent Night, I'd like to see a version of that. If you could put a link in the comments, that would be great. It's actually fun to do reharmonizations of Christmas tunes because everybody recognizes the melodies, which makes the reharmonizations more interesting because you can put richer chords in as long as you keep the melody intact. And just a quick reminder, if you could just reach down, hit the little thumbs up button, it really helps us here at the channel. And if you haven't subscribed yet, you can join our growing community of jazz piano and other jazz professionals. If you're looking for other Christmas songs that I've reharmonized, you can check out this video next.